Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Sunday to everyone. If you're new here, this is Sandra James with Living It with Sandra James. Welcome in. For those of you on the replay, welcome in. I hope that this engagement is going to enlighten you and encourage you and cause you to share more and more every time you visit. I appreciate you being here. And again, welcome in. My goodness, my goodness. Grant. Thank you so much, Grant, for saying so. I really appreciate that. And it is really about authenticity for me, and a lot of the channels that I don't even care sometimes what they're talking about. I just care about how they share and how they deliver. And the things that they share are so good for me. And that's why I show up. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to cool off. It is hot. It is hot on this Sunday afternoon. So welcome in Zombies for Dawn of the Vampire, John M. Welcome in, John. And I know this is your first time being here because I may have seen you in the YouTube streets, but I've never seen you over here. So welcome in. It's good to see you. Jackie, as always, welcome in. It's good to see you as well. And happy Sunday to you. And Kendi K. Welcome in, Kendi K. Happy Sunday to you. Those are very kind words from Grant, right? Yes. And Jackie as well. That really makes me feel good. And it really shows that I am indeed being who I say I am. I appreciate that. So let's just get right on in there. What is being authentic? What does that look like for you? And when you visit a channel, what are you looking for? Are you looking for entertainment, education? What are you looking for? And also, how do you know if the person who's on the channel sharing, if they're absolutely authentic, or what's your view on that? What's your take on that? I really want to know and hear how you guys feel about this authenticity. Yes. Jackie, my girl Jackie, Kendi K, Zombie John. That's what I'm gonna call you because saying the whole channel is a lot of words. But Zombie John, welcome in again. And Grant, you know that I'm visiting your channel because of your authenticity and because of the things you share and the significance that it is for the people who come. The information that you share is not easy to share, and it costs a lot to share your personal life. And with the GLP-1 and even doing your injections right there on the screen, it takes courage to do something like that. And I really, really appreciate that you do it. And I know that the people who need your share is really benefiting from what you're doing. And I appreciate that. And Jackie says, I love when people are themselves. Yes. Who else are you gonna be, if not yourself? But there are many people who have channels, and I don't even really like to call them videos. I like to call them shares, that have channels and they're sharing. And I don't know if they're manufacturing things and sharing things, or trying to be like someone else who have done something similar, or what, and when the bottom line is, when you can be yourself and you can come on screen and you can do whatever it is that you do on screen and be authentic about it, people's lives are enhanced and changed because of it. And so I really want to talk about this today because YouTube has been my TV, my radio, my news, my everything for the past 16 years. I basically have done more YouTube viewing and have been a viewer for 16 years, or maybe even longer than that. And I'm always looking for different things, and I have always been able to find it, enjoy, learn, grow just from viewing people's channels. And so to me, is YouTube is just more than just videos. They're shares. They're life-changing shares sometimes as well. Welcome in, Debbie Sue. Good to see you. And it's a wonderful thing, Debbie Sue, that you are here today. I have your name written down on this paper. When I think of authenticity, and I'm not going to cry, I think about you. Welcome in, Mary. Mary's Life Journey is in the house. As Simply Debbie Sue is in the house. It is good to see you all, and welcome in, and happy Sunday. And so I wrote something down here, and I said, there are channels you visit because they make you laugh, channels that teach you, channels that challenge your thinking, and channels that simply feel like home. Right next to that, it says at Simply Debbie Sue. Because on Sunday night, when I get in my recliner and I'm getting ready to relax, and she comes on with that soothing voice, I could just wrap up in my blanket and just listen to her share. And I always feel like that warm blanket she always talks about. And I feel like I'm at home listening to a beautiful story or just being relaxed by her voice. That's authenticity to me. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm always going to, as long as I'm breathing, I'm always going to be in that space because I feel like I'm at home when I'm there. I don't feel like I'm watching a video or I'm listening to a video. I feel like I'm at home. Welcome in, Cheryl. I saw you. Let me see. At 7 Minutes with Cheryl, the second channel. Welcome in, Cheryl. Cheryl is sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ over there. And I really enjoy visiting over there when I can. And welcome in, Cheryl. It's good to see you. Rebounding with Cheryl, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. And it's just a wonderful blessing that I have been able to connect and make contact with people who have really embraced me and also blessed my life. And it's not just what I like to call junk and mess. It's, authentic, heartfelt shares. That's what I like to call them, shares. And they're beautiful. The heart of authenticity. The things that I've been hearing and seeing on these channels are, to me, coming from the heart. And so I really just wanted to let you all know. And I also want to have a conversation about authenticity, what it is to you as well as what it is to me. Welcome in, Auntie. Good to see you. Kendi K said authenticity makes me think about our YouTube channels. YouTube channels are so easy to grow when you are authentic, just being yourself. And I absolutely agree with that because I don't know any other way to be, and it just feels and sounds foreign to be anything outside of yourself, unless you're being a character or you're playing a role in a movie or something like that. But these shares that we do on these channels, it's about being yourself. It because people connect to you, they want to know that they're connecting to the person and the thing that's being shared. Yes, they don't want fantasy and superficial, you know, stuff. I've been a viewer in the bushes for 16 years. Every now and then I would come out and make a comment on something or something that someone shared, even though they never saw it because they had so many subscribers and so many views. They never saw my comments when I did periodically say something. But it didn't matter to me because I was there for what they were bringing into my life. And it's absolutely a wonderful thing. And I can't see anything outside of or watch anything or listen to anything that I don't think is real. So what is authenticity to you? Debbie Sue said, I remember my grandmother always told us to act right and not put on airs, right? We don't need to put on airs. I can't, I'm regular. I like to say that I'm regular, and I like to say that I'm unorthodox. I'm not in a mold or a person that's living in a certain particular box or tradition. Some traditions I do hold, but I'm very non-traditional. I didn't do the things in my life in a traditional way, and I just come as I am. I come to share. I come to help. That's it. That's all. And I don't try to manufacture anything that's going to make me look, feel, or say something that's not true or not real. It's just regular old me. And I love being here, and I love the places where I go, the channels where I go, and I enjoy, and never judging anything, just enjoying it. I may not agree, and I might even think some things are interesting sometime, but the bottom line is I'm looking for that authentic person. And that's what I've seen so far on my favorite channels. So Jackie says, me too. I am very non-traditional too. Perfectly imperfect person in me. Absolutely. And I wanted to share while I was thinking about coming live with you all. I thought about a person, and I'm going to share why I really enjoyed visiting this person's channel. And Miss Auntie said, true, go where you enjoy. Yes. Being fake comes across so much if anyone tries that. Yeah, sometimes you can actually see it and be like, oh Lord. But if you want to be entertained that way, if it's just something that a person is being funny or whatever, then okay. But when I'm visiting, I don't have time to be sitting around for some junk and mess. I can create my own stuff like that, in my own house, in my own space. But uh being authentic means a lot. And I also pulled up a dictionary, well, a Google version of the definition, but I have my own definition as well. And the Google version of authenticity says it refers to the quality of being real, genuine, or true to oneself, to yourself first, right? It encompasses the idea that something or someone is sincere, right? sincere, credible. You can trust what they say, and trustworthy rather than fake and imitation. This concept can apply to objects, actions, or individuals, emphasizing the importance of legitimacy and truthfulness in various contexts, right? So they give you a full blown definition of what it means, and I agree with it. But my definition is simple: it's living unmasked, right? Being honest with yourself and others, and never feeling like you have to imitate someone else to be validated. That's my definition. That's how I see it, right? I like who I am, and I just tell it like I believe it. I come like I believe it, like I feel it. And so that's where it is for me. But I want to talk about a content creator. And his channel, I don't really know what his channel is. His channel, he talks a lot about celebrities and different people, but that's not why I visited his channel. I actually lived on his channel for probably a month or however long that Diddy trial. He was covering the Diddy trial, and I made sure that I was there for his share every single day, Monday through Friday, at that particular time. He was never late. And if he was going to be late or he thought he might be late, he let us know in advance. Welcome in, Jerry G. Jerry G. Good to see you. Happy Sunday to you. So the reason why I watched his channel and his shares, it wasn't even about the Diddy trial for me, but that's what he was covering. It was the authentic way that he presented the information. He was in the court every day during the trial, and he would come back and share the information. But he had the most beautiful personality. His name is Armand Wiggins, by the way. Some of you may have heard of him before. His channel is at Armand Wiggins. And it was the way that he shared it, the way he was funny, he was interesting, but at the same time, the information that he brought back from the notes that he took was so intelligently displayed and dispersed to us. And so in all of his, sometimes he was being silly and he was doing the oil, you know, and so he made it funny, but at the same time, yes, Kendi K, at the same time, he laid that share out so beautifully that I made sure to watch him every day. And I have not been back to his channel since the trial because some of the other things that he's sharing I'm not interested in. But I love this guy's personality. He's a beautiful person, and I would hang out with him anywhere because I know I'm going to laugh, I'm going to have fun, and that I'm going to be with the person that's being himself at all times. And I take that back. There was a couple videos, shares that he did about his personal life, and it was very, very courageous of him to share what he shared. And I really respect him and appreciate him for that. So that's the type of channels that I like to go to when they make me laugh. They give me information. I'm inspired. I'm going to learn something. And I'm not going to walk away or turn my phone off or my laptop off and be mad or have an attitude about something. So, and so far, and all of you that know me and I know you and I'm visiting your channels, you know that I feel the same way about you. And I really want to just put it out there that the heart of authenticity is very important to Sandra. And what you guys do on your channels and your shares is very important to me. I could drop the mic on that on that right there, but let's go further and tell me why you have a channel. Why do you have a channel? What motivates you to get up every day and do the filming that you do, the editing that you do, the shares that you do? What make you do it? Why do you have a channel? Tell me about why you have a channel, and I'll share why I have a channel as well. Lord have mercy. I'm sorry about this, you guys, but is I don't have central air. I love my house. It's an old house, but I don't have central air, so it's fans all over the place. So Grant says, I have a channel to speak to at least one person. And let me put this on the screen. I have a channel to speak to at least one person through our journey. And as we know, Grant is on the GLP-1 journey along with his wife, Christy. So, of course, we do want to be monetized too. That's nice. That's something to have, and it's also an incentive to keep going. But for me, it wasn't about being monetized. I didn't even know when I started the channel that it was a such thing as that. I kind of knew right before that because I also watched a couple other channels during the Diddy trial, and I saw that they were getting these things called super chats, and I was like, what is that? And this one guy, he was saying every few minutes, thank you, and I was seeing these little green and gold things coming up on the feed, on the chat feed. And so I discovered that they were super chats, and it was because that person had partial monetization, or I guess some of them even were fully monetized. But when I started my channel, I came to share my journey. And I have shared this before. And before I share it again, let me go to the chat because Jackie just said something important. Jackie says, well, I believe I have a channel for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons why I even started social media was to say everything I wish somebody would have told me. Amen. Amen, Jackie. So one of the reasons why is because you are saying to us the things that you wish someone had said to you. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And then she says, then I started YouTube, or change it because I wanted to post the things that I learned, some of my experience, because I felt like my experience was valid and people are wanting to know. Yes, people are wanting to know. And what we share and who we are, if no one else validates us, we validate ourselves, because we know that we are being true to ourselves and being authentic with ourselves. And so we want to show up and be true and authentic to others. So Debbie Sue said, I have a channel because I wanted to share a little piece of kindness in a noisy world. I wanted my channel to be a soft place to land, for a soft place for people to land, for those that need a calm place. You rock, Debbie Sue. Debbie Sue rocks. Sorry for the typos. Don't worry about the typos. I have verbal typos all day long and written typos all day long, but I do understand what you mean and what you're saying. And It's a wonderful thing. So I shared this before and I'm going to share it again. I was thinking about writing a book about my colorectal cancer journey. And I had started writing the book. I was in chapter 2 when it dawned on me that by the time I finish this book, who knows when that's going to be. And people want to know about cancer, how people are living with it, what people are doing, what the treatments are like, and the ostomy, living with the ostomy. People need to know right now. And I remembered that when I was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and I was looking for answers because all of the information that the hospital, my care providers had been giving me, I have a whole bag of just pamphlets and information about this, but I needed to hear from people who were experiencing it and who were actually living with it. I didn't want the textbook version of it. And because my life had been on YouTube for the past 16 years, I just typed something in the search box one day and I found all of these shares about my life and what I needed to learn and what I needed to hear and the comfort and the connection that I needed. It was all there. And so I was like, don't write the book. Share the journey on YouTube. And that's how I got here. And it has been a wonderful journey. I'm almost to 1 year being on this YouTube journey, being in the YouTube streets. Growing up, I was in the streets, so I'm familiar with the streets, and I love it here. I like it here. I appreciate being here, and it was important to me to share my journey, but also help other people who are going to come behind me that may not get the information that they need in their care providing space, because the care providers can give us the technical things, but they can't give us the heart of it unless they are also living with an ostomy or they have also experienced living with cancer or being treated for cancer. So that's why I came to YouTube. Cheryl says, my mission is simple: to encourage others to move their body through rebounding and heal their souls through the Lord. This covers both channels. Amen, Cheryl. And you are doing exactly that. You are doing exactly that. Oh, so Grant said, Gina from Anchor Moments is who inspired me to have the mission of reaching at least one. Yes, just one. And then that one becomes 2 and 3 and 4. And now for Grant, it's 1,000 and something. For Kendi K, 6,000. For Jackie, how many ever thousands? People are subscribing because they care about what you're sharing, what you're giving, what you're bringing, and the authentic way in which you do it. Being true. And every time, the first time I saw Grant doing his injection on camera, I was like, this is really amazing, because they don't teach us everything. They don't, okay, Grant. They don't teach us everything. And I also meant to mention to you guys that I'm not feeling my best today. I have a cold because I keep running these fans all through the night, and I catch colds a lot. So far we're 30 minutes in and I haven't coughed, but I'm gonna feel it coming on. And excuse me if I have to cough. I have to cough. And regardless to having a cold, I was gung ho on showing up anyway. Yes, yes. I want to do the Sundays. I want to keep it up. I used to do more uh live videos before some months back, but like I shared with the plate, it was just too much. So I had to narrow it down. But every time I come with my authentic heart, and I'm coming with truth, and I'm just being my regular self, and I'm not going to be trying to put on no airs and be all fancy and uh super intelligent and knowing everything. I'm just regular Sandra sharing my journey and helping someone in some kind of way. And like Grant said, even if it's just one, always enjoy your lives when you can. Yes, Grant. And I appreciate you all for showing up and always encouraging me, always having nice things to say to me, and always giving me a word of encouragement. And Cheryl, you set it off a long time ago with the rebounding. But, when it's all said and done, and at the very end of the day, it is so important to be yourself, because when you're trying to be something and someone else, you got to keep that up. And if you're not being paid to be a movie star, to pretend to be someone else, then you know it's going to cost you a whole lot more to keep up putting on airs than it is to go be a movie star and get paid for being some other thing, or some other person. So, I really appreciate that you all have been authentic with me and causing me to continue to come back and come back and come back and come back, you know. So I have here that, some people have channels to educate. Some people have channels to make people laugh. I love those too. I go for music. Thank you so much, Kitty K. I go for music, you know, to document their journey. That's another reason why I have this channel, is because my grandchildren are young right now. And by the time they get to, my oldest one is 12, by the time they get to an age where they can have a greater respect for life and everyday living, and they want to know some things about their grandma that it just don't make sense to talk about with them right now, they could go back and watch these videos, watch these shares, right? And and then they could get more history from their parents as well about my life and the things that I have written down, the books, well, the book that I wrote, and the books that I've written for other people, and the book that's coming down the pipeline now. And they'll have some documentation of my life. And I think that's important for them. And Mary says, Mary's Life Journey is a lifestyle channel dedicated to inspiring women over 50 to embrace every season of life, shopping hauls, self-care, home life, and fashion. So that's why Mary has her channel, because she wants to share with women over 50, and probably men too. You know, we have men that watch our channels, whether we're talking about mini skirts or long skirts, or how we're going to fix our hair, or what we're going to buy at Costco. We have men that visit our channels as well. Thank you, Mary. It's a cold, and you know how a cold can get you when you congested, but I'll be okay, and I still got to show up for work. So, and I definitely, if I can show up for work, I can show up for the rest of my life as well. And so I'm here. Yeah. So to preserve memory, that was part of it. And I do have a regret, and I've shared my regret before. And that regret is that I didn't document or film the cancer treatment part of my journey. So I will be continuing to share my journey and my ostomy life here on YouTube, but I really regret having not documented some of those things and sessions that I had in treatment that could have really helped some people as well. But I'm doing the best I can. I'm starting where I stand. I've started where I stood, and I'm moving forward with what I have to share and what I have to give and what I have to pour out. Some people have channels to entertain. I love to get entertained too. And I remember 16 years ago, I believe the first music, the channel that I went to, I was going in for music. I had never seen a cell phone before, and I had my phone that my sister had got for me, and I had heard about this thing called YouTube and that I could see music videos there. And so I was on my new phone learning how to use it, and I went looking for Marvin Gaye. And today I still go and watch his rehearsal. He has this video where he's just laying on a sofa and he has his band in the room and they're rehearsing one of my favorite songs. And I still go back and watch that share. And I love to go for music and looking at some of the older videos for some of the favorite music that I had. So people come for that. Um, I don't have any grandchildren right now. Can't wait to have at least one. Yeah, Jackie, it's exciting. It's exciting. And you find that you're going to do things with and for your grandchildren that you didn't do for your kids, because I don't know, something about being a grandparent softens you and it humbles you. And sometimes, the parents of our grandkids have to reel us back in, because when my grandkids are with grandma, it's almost oh, you can do whatever, you can have whatever you want, you can do whatever you want within reason, of course, but they just soften you, and it's a beautiful thing. And it is good for our children and our grandchildren and even their children to know the history of the parents, the history. And I want my grandchildren to know what my life was like and what I went through. But I also want them to know about the joys that I have in my life as well. And every time I'm with them, I'm getting clips and pictures and videos of them too, and always encouraging them to encourage. Excuse me. I'm always encouraging them to film and video and talking to the mic and share their thoughts. I'm always encouraging them to do that so that they can have something documented about their life as well. So that's one of the things that people have channels for. Also to advocate for causes, right? Some of the ostomy community people have organizations, and they have YouTube channels as well, where they share information, where they can point you to resources, where they have events, where they collect money and get donations to help other people. And that brings to mind, for a short period of time, I was working with a nonprofit organization, and I was writing for them the stories that people would submit to them about their journey of living with an ostomy and some of the struggles, especially people in other countries. They were sharing their journeys and sharing their struggles about not being able to get the ostomy supplies like we do here in the United States. And so that organization, and it was called Connecting Pieces, they were getting donations and they were supplying these people in different countries with ostomy supplies. And my role was to write their stories. When they tell us things, I would put it in story form for them. And that was a good thing to be doing at the time. And I didn't even mention it when I was talking about taking things off my plate, but that was something else that was on my plate that I had to take off because I wasn't able to continue writing the stories. But at the time that I was doing it, it was a wonderful thing, and I appreciate that they allowed me to do that for them and a service to their organization. So Kendi K says, advocacy means a lot to me. Yes, and I know this. If you can't stand for something, then you'll fall for anything. Amen. Yes. And Kendi K is a true American, in case you didn't know. Yes. And we do have to advocate. We have to advocate. We have to be a voice for other people. And through our channels, we do that in so many different ways, regardless of what type of channel that we have. Everything that we do is for the benefit. I always say this, it's for the benefit of others. We're just not here for ourselves. We're here for the benefit of others. Some people will benefit, some people won't. But for those who do, even like Grant says, even if it's just one, that's one that benefited from something that you shared. And that's what it's all about. And that's why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm here. And I thank God, and I'll continue to always share this as well. If it were not for those men and women who had channels, who demonstrated on camera and showed, Lord have mercy, had the courage to show their ostomies and show me, who knew absolutely nothing when I got my ostomy. Well, before I got my ostomy, because this happened even before I knew I was going to have it. They taught me how to care for my ostomy. And what if those people would have kept that to themselves? I would have struggled a lot harder than I had to. I will never forget them. I always appreciate them. And I 100% respect their channels and them as human beings and as people who cared enough and had the courage to share their journey with me. And so I don't see no other reason and no other thing than to do likewise, to share and show other people who are coming behind me how to care for their ostomy and other information and other things and other experiences that I've had to help them along the way. So I have a YouTube channel. And yes, I'm going to continue to write. I'm going to start up writing again. Well, I've started up writing again, but YouTube is so immediate, and you get to reach thousands and thousands and thousands of people all over the world quicker than you can write a book. So it was the most effective and efficient way for me to share my journey and to help other people. Thank you, Kendi K. Yes, we want to be monetized, but it's not just about that. We have a purpose. We're not just videos. We don't just have videos. We have shares, and we have a purpose. And we're here to share that purpose with all of you. And for those of you, again, who will be on the replay, welcome in. Thank you for being here and sharing the comment what being authentic means for you. And what are you looking for when you come to visit not just my channel, but anyone's channel. What are you looking for? And have you been able to find what it is that you've been looking for? I would really like to know. I would really like to hear what you have to say and what you have to share, because you're important to me as well. And welcome to the community again. Yes. So you guys, it's just been wonderful. It's always wonderful to come and have a conversation about everyday life, about our channels, about our stress, about our ostomies, about our GLP-1 journey, about our lifestyles, our grocery hauls, and sharing stories, everything that, and the Lord, and sharing the Lord, everything that we do here is just absolutely necessary. I believe it's absolutely necessary. And I'm glad that I get to do it with you. And I want to thank you all so much for being a part of my journey and being a part of my life. Kitty K says, it's a journey as a creator, learning all the lessons that we need to learn so that as our channels grow, because they will continue to grow, be able to grow the channel that is built on to Sandra's amazing journey. Amen. Amen. And all of your beautiful journeys as well. But you guys, I can't tell you how much you've meant to me. And you know, because I'm there with you all the time. I'm there. I'm showing up. Yes, nice to be here with you, Sandra, and everyone. Yes. And about, Jackie said, about to land the plane. I like that saying. Yes. Kitty K like to say, and we're about to come down from here, and my thing is, that's okay. Kitty K, that's quite all right. You ran out of space. It is quite all right. And I love to say landing the plane, because I always feel like when I'm here, even if I'm nervous, even because sometimes I still get nervous in lives, I feel like I'm flying. I feel like I'm soaring when I'm on here with you guys. And so, I know at some point I have to come down and I have to land the plane. And so that's why I like saying that. And of course, Jackie, yes, I am about to land the plane, but I don't want to land the plane without saying how much I appreciate you. It makes me sad to hear you say you're landing the plane. We don't get to see you live. Well, as I continue to grow, Candy K, and as I continue to come to shop, talk, and learn, I'm going to grow, and I'm going to have more live sessions. So stay tuned and don't be sad. Just know that there's always going to be a next time, right? Yeah, however you come, just as long as you come, we all understand and know what you mean, sis. And you have always been a benefit, I believe, to all of our lives. So, we're going to do some typos. We're going to do some all caps. We're going to do some of everything. And that's still what makes us imperfectly perfect and authentic. Always authentic. That's who we are, and that's what we do. Be authentic. And I really appreciate all of it. So with that being said, I will see you all in the next live and in the next video.
Living it, stronger every day. Living it, finding my way. The last of me life, I say it plain. Color at the games that didn't win the game.